Hello, everybody. My name is Victoria Thompson. I'm an education strategist at CDW. I am so excited to be hosting the Focus on EDU podcast, and even more excited to have my friend Omar Valerio here with us today, who will be on in just a second. With Focus on EDU, we are bringing in thought leaders, educators, educational leadership, and a little bit of everybody to talk about who they are, what they do, and also how they support education. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring my friend Omar Valerio up on stage. Hey, Omar.
Hello, how are you?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm fantastic too.
Yes,
Fantastic.
we are both here in this rainy state of Florida right now.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So as we get started, I always think it's a good idea, just first and foremost, tell us your name. I know I've already said it, but you can say it again, your role, and just a little bit about what you do and your background in education.
Okay, well, my name again, it's Omar Valerio, and I'm the Chief Information and Technology Officer at Westminster Christian School down in Miami, Florida. We're a private school, and I've been at the school for I'm on my 11th year now, but I've been in education, always in IT, past 3 decades, probably about 35 years, always dealing with network administration, security, implementations, and the key and my goal have always been, and my focus is um, to help the students get ready for the workforce and for college for the future.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Nice. So, are there any specific ways in your roles, just kind of figuring out how you can get those students ready? Any initiatives that you've taken over the past couple of years?
Well, as you know, we are a Microsoft Showcase school.
You are,
And
yes.
yeah, so the initiative here, I had the vision, and the vision was that, to make the school a state of the art school in technology. So the way I started doing this was with pilot programs. I first, met with the higher ups, with the board, and give them my ideas, my vision, and start educating them and bring them into the pot. So that way they understand everything that I had in mind, and for them to provide me with their support. So that's how I started doing pilots program, and then I started training all my teachers, bringing them on board to be a successful program. Because it's in order to do that, number one, I have to make sure that I provide all the technology to them and grab them by the hand, train them for them to feel comfortable, so that way they can start rolling this down to the classroom and to the students.
Yeah, very
Mhm.
nice. So, kind of speaking of that, a lot of what we do with our technology partners and kind of figuring out where students want to be, we have to have the vendor management. So, I'd like for you to speak a little bit to that. How do you approach vendor management and the selection of different technology partners to bring your vision to the forefront?
Well, depends on first we do an assessment. What is it that
Mhm.
we're looking for? Okay. So we do an assessment, then we look for the criteria, and then I start doing my research. Okay. So it depends if it's, hardware, if it's software. Um, and then, of course, one of the keys that I look for my vendors is expertise. How long have they been in the market? Their reputation, cost. Our policy here at the school is always to ask for three quotes, for three bids, and we compare. I also ask for references, and we do vendor evaluations. But again, it's all based on the assessment. Are we looking into introducing a new program? Are we looking into implementing new hardware? And I work very closely. That was another key that I did here at the school. I have a very close relationship with our curriculum director, because my belief has always been, instructional technology and information technology needs to be one. They need to work together.
Mhm.
Otherwise, things will not work. We can buy the most expensive equipment you want, but if the software that we're going to implement is not going to be compatible with the system, then we didn't do anything. And that's some of the things that I look from the vendors. I ask for pilots program. I'd like to try things before I put them into production.
Yeah, I like that. And Thinking about just the collaboration between IT and other departments, I mean, you hit the nail on the head where there has to be some semblance of everybody understanding where we are. And sometimes within IT departments and the curriculum and instruction department, there's not really that alignment. So, can you talk a little bit just about how you foster a culture of collaboration between IT and other departments in your school to ensure that technology solutions meet the greater needs of what's going on?
Well, like I said, the key is communication. You need to open those channels of communication. Have several meetings, with department heads, with curriculum directors, with principals, and gather all their ideas. Okay, what is the vision? What is it that we want to do? Where do we want to get? What is it that we want to provide our students? And from that, I gather all the ideas and I start reaching out to vendors, testing software, testing hardware, and then we bring it back to the table. Okay. And I say, okay, teacher A wants A, B, and C. Okay, we're going to try A, B, and C, but A, B, and C doesn't work. Now I look for another solution and we meet in the middle. And another thing that I did also is, being in, the head of IT, when I was doing my trainings, uh, I noticed that after 5 minutes of my training, I was losing all the teachers. I was
Mm,
basically very technical. The teachers did not feel comfortable with me doing the trainings. So from there, I started reaching out to the department heads and I started handpicking, you know, um, very techy, very tech savvy teachers. So now I created another group, okay, which I did my department teams, and I started training all these teachers in different software. And now my teachers are the ones training the rest of the teachers. And now that was a great thing that I did because now everybody opens up in the room, they feel comfortable. And, as being in the IT director and the chief information officer, I'm not very familiar with the classroom environment, classroom setup. So, with coming from a teacher perspective, they can tailor the training into the classroom environment, and that's being a very successful thing that we have done here. But again, training is the key.
yeah.
Training. We do constant professional development. As you know, I always like to be ahead of the game. Always
Mhm.
be try new software, try new things. Just to tell you that how now AI is the big thing. Well,
Right.
I started introducing AI here 6 years ago, um, even when AI wasn't what it is now. And that's what I bring, the ideas to the table, and then we share ideas. I do all my analytics, I connect my metrics and everything, and that's when we go ahead and roll out everything into production.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
wonderful. How many teachers do you have on that team for professional development?
Right now, it's 32.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah, 32.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Mhm.
How did you get buy-in for that group? So, like, in order to encourage people to be a part of it?
That was very difficult, believe it or not.
Mhm,
So I had to sit down with our head of school and our board, and I said, "These teachers need some kind of incentive, okay, for them to start getting certifications, start preparing, taking all the classes, you know, because as you know, teachers are overwhelmed. There's always a
mhm,
lot going on. So the idea that I came to was, okay, so if we send a teacher out to a conference or if we send a teacher out to a class, we're going to spend X amount of money, hotels, travel, this, that. So why don't I give the training to the teachers here? And when they pass the exam, they pass the certification. So whatever product we're going to introduce, let's give them an incentive. Let's give them $350 every time they pass an exam. Let's give it. And that's how everybody started jumping on board. So now I have teachers with 5, 6, 7 certifications, and they're the ones, like I said, helping out the rest of the group. And they're always there for me,
that's
you know.
awesome.
And those are all my MIE experts. Yeah,
Yeah. Love it.
yeah.
So, I spoke a little bit in the beginning of the podcast about how we're both in Florida. So, I'm based out of the Orlando area. You're in the Miami area, but we always cross paths in a lot of Florida conferences. And I saw you last year at FETC at a packed house for an IT workshop, and that was just so cool. So definitely wanted to give you the spotlight for how you present at a lot of different conferences. And I just want to pick your brain a little bit about trends in informational technology, trends in education. What are some highlights that you've been seeing? I know you mentioned AI, but we're both very much on the same wavelength that AI has been around for a long time. Are there any things that you've been seeing that you'd like to maybe bring to your teachers, bring to your other administrators? Just kind of what's top of mind for you?
Yeah, a lot of collaboration software. The
Mm.
collaboration. Now everybody wants to basically mm, go paperless. Microsoft does an amazing job when it comes to all the different tools that they offer. Now Microsoft Teams, which is the repository for all these different applications and everything. So yeah, that's one thing that I see a lot. Another thing that I see a lot in all these conferences is talking about cloud security.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which that can be difficult for some companies because of money. They don't have the funds to move all their appliances and everything to the cloud, and also you know software that might be running on mainframes that is not compatible. So they have to you know take a lot of things in consideration. Um, One of the things that I like about the conferences, my highlights for me as a speaker,
Mhm.
it's the networking opportunities. You know,
Yes.
meeting
Mhm.
people, meeting the attendees, sharing my knowledge with them. Um, that's how I get my reward. I feel complete when I'm able to share and they able to take that back to their organization and put it in place immediately. Um, the professional development, professional development, and now we're going to FETC.
We
They're gonna
are,
have
yes.
they're gonna have different sessions on everything, esports, AI, security. So getting staying on top of the new technology, that's another great advantage that I get from attending these conferences. It's inspirational, motivational. Every time you go to a new thing, you come back with new ideas. You get to meet the vendors at the exhibitors,
Mhm.
which again that becomes a great network. You see the tools, the ideas, or new products that they're coming out on the market. Um, and then the visibility of my role, as a chief information officer, and as a Microsoft MVP, I get to meet people from all over the world, not only Florida but all over the world. So those are the highlights that I take from attending this conference, the community building that we do.
100%. I'm right there with you. The networking and the community building is just so fantastic. And there's nothing like being able to go to a convention or go to a conference and just get to see people in person and meet them and go to their sessions. It's just so, 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 so phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we're nearing the end of our time, but I have two last questions for you. The first of the two is if people want to learn a little bit more about your role, right, being a CIO, what are some resources, blogs, books, anything that you would recommend for people to maybe listen to or connect with?
Well, CIO website, CIO.com is a great website that they can get a lot of information from. Um, Another recommendation is, if you're join any council, any CIO council, you get a lot of information. Then you get to meet a lot of great CIOs, get to share a lot of ideas in different industry, not only education, and you get to learn even other things that they're not part of the education side. A great book is the CIO Paradox. That's one book that,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
it's a great book to read. um, the other thing is, joined a lot of forums online and chats. So that's what I use the most. And of course, again, being a Microsoft MVP, I get to meet more people because of that. I get a huge network when it comes to that. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna give one advice to
Mhm.
CIOs, because I have met
Yeah,
a
please.
lot of CIOs in the past, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years. Um, and what I've seen during my sessions from CIOs are more management. They don't stay too much on top of the technology. They like to delegate a lot, and I think that's have been one of the plus for me. That I'm the type of guy that I'm very hands on. I like to get dirty. I
Mhm.
like to be there. I like to study. I dedicate at least 2 hours a day to continue learning. Because you know how it is. Technology is evolving daily, every minute, and in order for me to keep up and have a great team and continue to be successful in my role here at the school, I gotta make sure that I lead by example. So I can say you go get certified on this if I don't have the certification.
Right. Yeah.
So my advice is to all the CIOs: study, continue studying, spend some time and get dirty. Go, mingle with your team. Be very open with your team. Have that relationship, and you will see how everything is going to change and the respect that you're gonna get back from your team if you are like that with them.
I love that. And that's so true, right? Like we are leading and we're showcasing by example.
Hmm.
All right. So last but not least, so we do have your Twitter handle or X. I'm still calling it Twitter. I'm not calling it X. But there's yours and then mine that are attached to our names. How else are you active on social media? And also, where can people find you if they'd like to connect with you?
The best place to find me is LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm very active on
You are
LinkedIn.
very active on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
and
Yeah.
LinkedIn. I also have Instagram. My hashtag on Instagram is Tiger. It's my nickname. But yes, the best place will be LinkedIn or Twitter.
Awesome. Well,
Hmm.
thank you so much, Omar, for spending this time with us today. We really appreciate it. Just kind of learning about the life of a CIO and how you conduct things at your school. And again, thank you. You are
Thank
awesome.
you.
And I always
Thank
love
you.
spending time with you.
Yeah, me too. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Yes, yeah, because we'll both
Yeah.
be at FETC, which
Of
is
course. Of
awesome.
course. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us for a little bit. We are going to go ahead and close out this session, but we'll catch you next time for Focus on EDU. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can be notified whenever we post new content. Looking forward to seeing you next time.